We got a 1-box nickel hunt today. Alright. So let's take a look at a couple of the enders. So let's get into the first roll. I think I'm just going to do recaps of the rolls just so it goes by a little bit faster. So we got a 1970D, a 1964, a 1972D, and a 1966. And we also got a foreign in our first roll. So I'm only going to be showing you the stuff that will probably be on my website and putting the stuff away that definitely will not be. On to roll 2. Only 3 finds from roll 2. We got a 1969 Denver. We had a 1964. And another 1964. Roll 3, the nicest one is on top. This is a 1964. We got another 1964 from Denver. Another 1964 from Denver. And a 1970 Denver. Time for roll number 4. Only 2 finds from roll 4. We have a 1964 Denver, and we have a 1970 San Francisco, I think. I just saw that too. Yep, roll 4 is going to give us our first San Francisco minted coin. This is a 1970S. So 1970S and 1964 from roll number 4. On to roll number 5. Only 2 finds from roll 5. This is a 1970S. And this is a 1961 Denver. On to roll number 6. 2 coins from roll 6. We have a 1970D. And we have a 1963D. On to roll number 7. Roll number 7. 1964 Denver. 1966 Philadelphia. 1964 Philadelphia. And 1963 Denver. Time for roll 8. Roll 8. 1 find. It's a 1964 Philadelphia. Time for roll 9. Roll number 9. 64D, 64P, and 64P. Time for roll number 10. Roll 10 had 2 finds. A 1964 Philadelphia and a 1969 Denver. Roll number 11. Roll 11 had a 1961 Denver. Now it's time for roll 12. Roll 12 had a lot of older coins. 1971D, 1961D, 1962D, 1964 Philadelphia, I found the 1941 Philadelphia and the 1947 Philadelphia. The 1941 is anywhere from 5 cents to $2, or the proof is 45. The 47 Philadelphia is anywhere from 5 cents to $4, and there is no proof according to the Blue Book. Roll 13 had a 1970S, a 1969D, the mint mark was on the front of that one, a 1964 Philadelphia. Oh, no, that was the 1969D with the mint mark on the front. The 1964 had the mint mark on the back, but it's still a Philadelphia. 1964 Philadelphia, and I just took this one out because I like that reddish tone. It is a 1976 D. And we got two 1970S's, a 1964 Denver, and a 1946 Philadelphia. And then we have this amazing 1959 from Philadelphia. Here's that with the top of the case off. And I'll be back with the recap of roll 15. Roll number 15, I only found the one, and it's a 1964 Denver. I thought roll number 16 wasn't going to have any finds, but this roll number 16, had two near the end, a 1964 Denver, and a 1941 in a 1941 San Francisco. Roll number 17, 1958 Denver, 1964 Philadelphia, and 1965 Philadelphia. And then we also have another one of these. This is a 1964 from Denver, in like near perfect condition. Roll number 18, 1964 Denver, 1964 Philadelphia, 1962 Denver. And this coin, it's in really good condition. This is the 1970. I might actually put that one in the case. But with this roll, I already cased up a 1964 Denver. Now, I know it doesn't really look like it, but this may possibly be a collection dump. I know a lot of the collection dumps I've seen on YouTube have a lot more older and rare coins, but we have 4 coins in really good condition that I would be surprised if these weren't in someone's collection. I really think this might be a collection dump because in this roll number 19, I found a 1964 Denver, a 1964 Philadelphia, a 1964 Philadelphia, a 1978 in pretty good condition, a 1988 in good condition, and then I found a 1950, but this one is the Philadelphia. So if there's a 1950, let's hope there's a 1950D in the box. Roll number 20. 1957 Denver, 1940 Philadelphia, and the 1940 Denver. Another 1964 from Denver, and a 1964 from Denver. Now this one here is a 2003, but when these are all in the roll together, it looked like it was gold-plated, so I got kind of excited. But then when you look at it, I don't know if the gold was coming off or if that's just damage. But if you look at it like this, you could see how it looks like it's gold-plated. Roll number 21, we got a 1964 Philadelphia, a 1969 Denver, and a 1961 Denver. Roll number 22, we got a 1964 Denver, we got a 1970 San Francisco, we got a 1964 Denver, and we got a 1969 San Francisco. Roll number 23, we got a 1964 Denver, and a 1964 Denver, and then we got a 1967 Philadelphia. Every roll is having something from the 60s. This is roll 24. And we got a 1951 in this one. And then we got a 1969 Denver and a 1964 Denver. We're halfway done. This is roll 25, and this is a 1964 Denver. Halfway done with the box. Roll 26. I hope the box isn't starting to slow down because this is a 1970 D, and we've been getting a 1964 in every roll for like the past 15 to 20 rolls. Hopefully we get something good in roll 27. Well, roll 27 made up for the last roll that didn't have any 60s. 1964 Denver, 1964 Denver, 1954 Denver, and 1963 Philadelphia. Roll 29 had a 1964 Philadelphia, a 1964 Denver, and a 1955 Denver. Roll 30, 1970 D, 1954 D, 1970 S, 1964 Philadelphia, and then this one, it has a lot of damage, but it's a 1939. It's a second year Jefferson. So it's hardly worth anything in that condition, but it is a second year Jefferson in roll number 30. So the next roll will be roll 31. Roll 31, we got a 1962 Denver, and we also have the second foreign of the hunt, Queen Elizabeth the second, 2009, 5 cents. Roll 32, we got a 1960 Denver, a 1964 Philadelphia, a 1958 Denver, a 1964 Philadelphia, and another coin that looks to be gold-plated. You can tell by the side, too. If I turn it a little, you can tell a little bit more there that it's gold. To the first one, I think the first one was 2003. This one is 2017. On to the next roll. This is roll 33 with actually 6 finds. Roll 33 has 6 finds. 1963 Denver, 1964 Denver. 1964, Philadelphia. 1941, Philadelphia. 1961, Philadelphia. 1962, Denver. So we have a 61, a 62, a 63, and a 64 in this one roll. 61, 62, 63, 64, another 64, and a 41. On to roll 34. 2 finds in roll 34. A 1949 D and a 1956 Philadelphia. And I still got a lot to go. In roll 35, we have a 1959 Denver, a 1939 Philadelphia, and a 1969 Denver. On to the next roll. Roll 36 has a 1959 Philadelphia, a 1964 Denver, a 1964 Philadelphia, and a 1967 Philadelphia. I was worried that roll 37 wasn't going to have any finds, and then I found 2 near the very end of the roll. It's a 1964 Denver and a 1954 Denver. 6 finds in roll 38. 1964 Philadelphia, 1964 Denver, 1966 Philadelphia, 1964 Denver, 1969 Denver, and 1964 Philadelphia. Roll 40. We have another practically uncirculated 1964 Denver, 1954 Denver, 1964 Denver, and 1964 Philadelphia. Roll 41. We got a 1964 Denver, a 1964 Denver, and a 1967 Philadelphia. 3 finds in roll 42. A 1949 Denver, a 1960 Denver, and a 1958 Denver. Roll 43 has a 1961 Denver. Roll 44 has a 1964 Denver and a 1963 Denver. Roll 45 has a 1946 Philadelphia, a 1959 Denver, a 1968 Denver. Roll 46 is the next roll to go, and then we're almost done with the box. Roll 47 had 1 1964 Denver. 3 finds in roll 48. We have a 1964 Denver, a 1964 Denver, and a 1964 Philadelphia. Roll 49, and we got a 1962 Denver, a 1940 Philadelphia, and a 1964 Denver. One more roll. Roll number 50. We have a 1964 Denver, a 1957 Denver, a 1970 San Francisco, and a 1962 Philadelphia. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the coins that I have saved, and I'm going to stack them up by decade, and then tell you how many from each decade we have that will be going on my website. Alright, so we're going to go through it like this. These are the 30s, these are the 40s, these are the 50s, these are all the 60s. Then these are the 70s, and these are the 80s. 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, and 30s. That's the row of the 60s that you're seeing now. But then we have some of these more mint condition coins. And what I really think happened was, I think someone filled a Jefferson album and then took the extra coins and just do what I did. I take the coins that I'm not using to a coin store. Or they could have taken them back to the bank or wherever, and then I got all these. This small stack here is all slightly off center. Some of them it's really hard to tell. Other ones you can tell pretty easily. I got 2 foreigns. I got this one. And then I got this one. Then I got the 2 of these that look like they were gold coated. This one, you may not be able to see it. You can see it. Has that line over here. I don't know if that's a lamination error or a die cut or something. This one just has a blue writing on it. And then I have a bunch of coins from the 2000 and sooner. That's all these here. And these. And these. Most of these are 2021s and 2022s that looked in really, really good condition. I'm not going to list all those. I'm just going to round up how many full step nickels I have. But now what I have to do is go through all these nickels and figure out how many of a particular date I have so I can list them all on my website. So let me know if you like this style of video. I am planning on getting more boxes of coins and doing that. So leave a like if you want to see more coin box videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with more. Bye.